That was a rivalry game, obviously, very emotional for both teams. Hat tip to them. They were really quick to the ball, loose balls and rebounds, which they're really they excel at. But we shot the ball really well. We played with good poise, especially down the stretch, getting down the last 5 minutes there. And what you have to do in postseason, be able to make some big shots. Ozaya hit a big three. Benny hit a big three at the end of the clock, and then Chisholm had a nice big drive late that kind of put us up and made the free throw to put us up 4. And our 2 senior leaders just kind of had really what you need in postseason is for them to step up big time. So we couldn't be more thrilled.
Okay, questions first for 2 players. First one to our right.
Maxime, Jalen, I remember talking to you guys at Media Days, and y'all were stoked about the young program coming in, first-year head coach, and it's been a great story so far. I know job's not done, but how do y'all feel about how this year has gone for y'all so far?
I think we surpassed expectations. Coach Smith kind of talked to us before that we were projected 17th out of 18th. We weren't even supposed to be here right now. And for us to be here, with the talent we have, I think we're doing a great job. We have great talent, young talent that you guys haven't even seen yet, and I think the more is to come. Next year, a lot of the freshmen, sophomores, juniors that are coming back, they're ready to build on what we're doing right now.
Front row.
For both the players, Mike Barber, Bay Area Media Group. I don't know how aware you were that they had played the 4 overtimes and the 2 overtimes. Were you surprised at how much they had left in the tank, and did that bring another gear out of you guys?
Maxime.
I mean, we always talk about how, starting off a tournament with a win going to give you a lot of energy, right? I mean, I'm sure they did a lot of, recovery stuff, eating bananas, whatever, oranges, whatever give you back energy. But really, what it's about is coming in with the right mindset and trying to have, a killer mentality. Obviously, they stuck around for too long, which is not okay for us, but they're a good team. Andre got 37. I mean, he's a good player as well. He led them, sorry. So no, not surprised there, but really happy on how the guy reacted and how we won that game.
Jalen.
Yeah, as he said, every game in the tournament is going to be competitive. Nobody wants to go home, especially with that long travel back to California. Nobody wants to get on that flight back home. But we knew going in that obviously we beat them twice before, but there was a lot of pride on the line. Obviously when you're playing a Cal-Stanford game, it's a rivalry game, and it means a lot more to, just the player, the 10 people that are playing on the court. It means a lot to the alumni, and, that's a more watched game by the Stanford and Cal fans. So we knew that they were going to come out with extreme fire, passion. I'm glad that we weathered the storm for sure.
Back of the room.
Maxime, first off, where'd you get the shades?
They just stuck with us the whole tournament. I went bowling with a couple teammates on Sunday. We picked those up, and they've been traveling with us ever since. So I think it's a little good luck charm, if I can say. And so I'm just bringing them everywhere. And man, we got the win. So
We'll see them tomorrow.
Absolutely.
How would you describe your battles with Andre? Him going for the performance he did, and then you had the block at the end. How would you characterize that, and what that one-on-one battle means to you?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's a one-on-one battle. I do think it's a team against a team. He mentioned the rivalry game earlier. It's the first time in 64 years that we go 3-0 against him. But yeah, he was obviously their best performer, and when that happened, you want to give him as much attention as possible. So if that means putting back on defense, blocking his shot, trying to help the guards and being as high as possible on the ball screens, that's what we do. But I think overall you need to give more credits to JB, Benny, Ozai. Pretty much all the guards that were guarding him for 40 minutes. I think these are the guys that did the most of the work. And now on a more personal standpoint of the court, he's obviously a good friend, obviously someone I respect a lot. But, between those lines, he's just the opponent. He's just rivalry game once again. So I'm glad we got the win and proud of him. Hope he can get good rest and good recovery for next season.
To our left.
Dusty Baker, Wave Sports. You guys, for both players, starting with Jalen, you come off an emotional win today against a rival, but then you turn your attention to tomorrow, and you're facing a team that you just fell by 22 just a few days ago. How do you shift that mentality, and what does that look like for you guys as you take on a U of L team that has been hot going into this tournament?
Yeah, they're really good. And obviously, you know that. But for us, you know, we're not just focused on what we did today. We have a goal in mind, and it's not just to get one win. And for us, I think, you know, we have to respect the opponent, respect what they did. But obviously, we didn't have our best outing against them at their place. And, you know, we're just going to try to improve and, you know, get recovered, as Max said, and, you know, focus on tomorrow.
Front row.
Grand Avalon Channel Tree. For both players, you guys have come together very well at the end of a lot of close games this year and have pulled a lot of them out in the final minutes. And in this game, we are playing with two guys off the bench in the closing minutes, and Chisholm and Benny. Can you talk about just the way that you come together as a group of five?
Maxine.
I mean, that guy is a closer for sure. If you talk about Santa Clara and UNC especially, I mean, 2 buzzer beater this year. That's awesome. That's what you need from your leaders, right? And on top of that, I think he really showed the way for the other guys coming off the bench to play with toughness and make the right decision. I mean, Chase came off the bench, but at the end we got 2 fast break. He got an extra pass, even though he could have gone for a layup. We get a wide open 3 for Zaya, which is one of the best shooters in the ACC. And then later he get a fast break dunk and a 2+1, like when we're just up 1 with 20 seconds to go. So once again, he mentioned it earlier, all the guys on the bench, like whether they're freshmen, sophomores, or juniors, are extremely talented, and like we're really excited for the future. And today was the opportunity for them to step up, and they really did it.
Jalen.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when it comes to close games, towards the end of the games, the more together team usually wins. And, you know, that's something that, you know, Coach Smith talks about. Obviously, he talks about faith, family, team. And, you know, a big emphasis is on team and being together, you know, being the closest knit team. And I think for us, when it comes to end of games, a lot of teams kind of scurry away and think they have to be a hero. But, you know, obviously in those games where, you know, you hit big shots, everybody's taking that shot with you. And for us, you know, it doesn't matter who comes in the game. You know, obviously we won a close game against NC State without myself. So these people, anybody that comes in the game is built for the moment. And, you know, it doesn't just happen that moment. It happened in practice. So, you know, whoever goes into the game, we've seen it multiple times in practice before.
Okay, Maxine, Jalen, you guys can head out. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow. See you in the shades tomorrow. The Cal locker room is open until 9:48. The Stanford locker room, 9:54. Now, questions for Coach. We'll start on our right.
Coach Kyle, y'all didn't win the rebound battle tonight, but y'all clearly won the turnover battle today. How do you think winning that turnover battle was more substantial than getting up the boards?
It created some offense for us, and we're not a team that normally turns people over a lot. And they really concern us on the offensive boards, and with Petritis, Sissoko, and Dort, they're just 3 elite offensive rebounders in this league, and we actually did a good job on those 3. We shut out Petritis, which I think probably hadn't happened all year on the offensive boards. But the other guys got to us, and they're a very physical team, and they put a lot of pressure at the rim defensively. So if you bring help and they get shots up there, it's hard to get it back. And you know, credit to them. They had a great opportunity to get that done, and we were fortunate to make some shots there. Ball went in last 2 games we hadn't made many shots, so that was a comforting feeling, at least, that ball went in tonight.
Front row.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Mike Barber, Bay Area Media Group. I'm curious, how aware were you, obviously, of how many minutes Cal had played in recent games? Do you think that impacted them, and what do you think about the way your guys responded when they were pushed?
You know, I didn't know how to play it. Obviously, very aware. I was watching the Notre Dame game on the flight, and it's like more timeout, more TOs. But, you know, I've been in that situation, and we told our guys, you know, this time of year, just look at the tournament last year. NC State won 5 in a row on 5 nights. So when you get in that, and I actually think there's a bit of advantage often for the team that just coming off a win. I think Maxine kind of said, like, where they've already been in the environment. We haven't played in the ACC tournament. We haven't been in this building, and there's some jitters. And I think we might have had those a little bit, but they're comfortable and they're kind of in that flow, and they were shorthanded and played really well. So credit to them. You know, and I think Coach Madsen's a good coach. We know his DNA is Stanford. You know, we feel so it's an odd rivalry, but. You know, a ton of respect for them, and they had a great effort, and they've been playing. I knew they're really hard to get away from if we were down, and very fortunate to win.
Second row.
Ian Scher, Niner Times. Coach, it's your first year as the coach at Stanford, and you just, for the first time in 64 years, beat Cal 3 times in the same season, going 3-0. How are you feeling after that?
I'm kind of focused on Louisville. To be quite honest, we just played them, I really actually, crazy as it sounds, we lost by 20. We didn't shoot the ball well, but we guarded pretty well for about 36 minutes. So that's where my head's at. That's not. It's neat for us. We got a lot of firsts this year. The things that happened in a while. Like we made big improvements defensively. That was our goal. It was never specific. We said we went in this year with. We have a baseline now. We finished 7th. There's something to shoot for, whatever. But we just want to have what they talked about is having the best culture, best team, caring about one another. I think that works at Stanford, and we have to out-team people. And whether we did that or not, we did tonight. I don't know if we're the better team, but we were a good team tonight. We were good to each other.
Front left.
Cal scored on a number of consecutive possessions to start the game, but you were able to take the lead in the last 10 minutes of the first half by holding to about 9 points in that stretch. What did you guys do differently?
Stojakovic wasn't shooting as much. I mean, he was a one-man band the start, and I was like, I ended up having to use a timeout, but I was worried he got his first basket. It was a tough turnaround in the lane over that, and he's a scorer. And then I think that hoop just looked big to him, and so I think I was like, I think we'll contain him. At some point we might get back in this thing, but I was wrong. He kept it going. We just, like I said, we had to block his shot from behind was the best way to stop him. So, that end of the first half was big to us, and then. We got some good shots to start the second half. We couldn't put them in and couldn't separate, and we couldn't get stops. Campbell was terrific too. They made tough ones. Campbell made a lot of tough shots.
Third row left.
Hey, Coach, you briefly touched on it already, but you go from securing this victory to making adjustments now as you turn your attention to Louisville. What are those adjustments going to look like, and does it kind of help that you just saw this team a few days ago?
I think so. It helps, but they're what do they won 19 out of 20? They're just playing really well. They got one of the best, if not the best, point guard in the country. He's been phenomenal, and you're gonna have to play well to get them. But I thought we did some good things defensively. They're just kind of relentless. It was senior night, and we have to. They were really good defensively that night. I'd like to say we had open shots that we missed, but there just wasn't much breathing room there. So we're going to have to look at the film and see if we can find a way. They switched a lot of stuff. They pressured us, and so we gotta find ways to crack that code.
Third row right in front of me.
Stephen Arthur, Virginia Tech Television. Coach, not only did you win the turnover battle, but you also won the stealing battle as well. How did you like how your defense pickpocketed the ball out?
We can get pretty good. Like Jalen Blake's is exceptional. I didn't know till after the game he took a little offense not getting any credit for all defense or something. I said, oh, good. It's good motivation because he's really good at disrupting plays like that, and he's usually the key guy in that. And it turned into offense. And the other guy, Chisholm, I don't know if he had any steals, but the way he defends, he's got quick feet and quick hands. He usually bothers some people in there, and get those two on the floor together, that can happen for us. So we needed to because it's hard for us to grab a rebound.